Vigilance is the price of freedom. What we're aware of and how aware we are of it determines our chances. Awareness is the cornerstone of vigilance. Our freedom, physical, mental, and spiritual, depends on our awareness. We humans forage for food and other necessities in a world of predators, just as any other living creature does. The environment and dangers are different for each species. So are the defenses. Our main danger is humans. Our natural defense is awareness. Without awareness, we are blindly exposed and vulnerable. Our mind is our soft underbelly, our vulnerable spot. The more aware we are, the safer we are. Awareness is a state of alert, individual presence. It is a natural quality, rather than something learned and operated by calculation. When calculation is substituted for awareness, mistakes can be made. Natural native awareness is there to keep us safe. But more important, it is there to draw our attention to the realities of life. It is to our advantage to become aware of this, to become aware of awareness. As a human, we are at the top of the animal kingdom. To stop there and just survive as a superior animal in comfort is to squander what makes us human. Our consciousness makes us human. It is unique to humans. We can move our attention inwards to an experience beyond the limited world seen by our physical senses. Generally, our attention is captured and directed by outer people. Our imagination is molded. We see things through a trained interpretation. We are educated into a manufactured virtual reality. Our awareness has been disabled. Widely available sophisticated communication technology, controlled by a few, has enabled this mass, uniform interpretation. Our collective perception is molded into a mass-accepted illusion of reality. How we perceive and react has been conditioned to suit and serve someone's agenda. Why else are we all living such a uniform life, with such a similar viewpoint, seeking similar goals of consumption, having the same perceived enemy, and making the same few people rich and powerful? Unaware of our deeper reality, we pass our whole life in a coma-like state, serving someone or some organization's agenda. In the end, our own inner being, the only reality, is never realized. With awakened, conscious, aware attention, we discover the reality of life, what we are. With the stilling of our mind, deepening of our awareness, and the conscious directing of our attention, we see below the surface of life. With awareness, our time here can be used consciously to enter the next level of life. But it does depend on the quality of our awareness and the direction of our attention. To start down this road, first become aware of what you are aware of. Are you interpreting life, or are you seeing what actually is? Most people are just passing their lifetime like someone waiting at the bus stop. They don't know which bus to catch, where to go, so they just hang around the bus stop, trying to make it comfortable and safe. They end up going nowhere. But for those who have become aware of their situation and started to take action, what is next? Awareness of your direction, the influence of who you are traveling with, and what your objective is, gives you an indication of where you'll end up. Conscious awareness expands with inner stillness, It is a state of no preoccupation. It doesn't have any distinguishing features. It is an open state. It is absolutely present. The mind is still. The awareness we are seeking is an open conscious space. It is a space into which inner light can enter and be seen without preconception, or the mind modifying what it sees. That is, don't bring in and be influenced by anything other than what is absolutely present in your still, aware inner space. Just be a witness to what comes up. As the space opens up, a whole new level of reality comes into view for our attention to enter. It is a point that we begin understanding life on its many levels. That starts to make sense. Things start to make sense. We begin to understand the process of creating in the material world and, if we choose, move on to understanding the science of being, the essence of life. It depends on the direction and intensity of our attention. Our attention is directed by our desires. For spiritual growth, it starts with a desire to know what lies beyond the surface experience of physical senses and survival. Most people are content to do little more than pass through life, seeing the sights like a distracted passenger on a budget tour bus. Occasionally, they are shocked out of their complacency by some passing event, enough to experience a momentary awareness of life. Then they retreat back, as fast as possible, into their half-conscious state. They are more comfortable where the awareness of the need to take responsibility for life is suspended. It is only when they are dying do they suddenly realize they were alive. They have been sleepwalking through life, and now it is over. For the few who consciously choose awareness, there is the possibility of realizing who or what they are, and the greater reality of what they are part of, and taking their place in it. Whatever the cost, what could be more important and useful? It starts with awareness and following the inner calling. The most common experience we have when first seeking reality is to process promising information through our conditioned mind. That way is very slow, and there is a danger of getting lost. It is basically a process of adding to and modifying what we know, modifying our memory. Everything still remains in the realm of concept. Awareness is different. Awareness is seeing without modification or interpretation. It is just seeing what is, as it is, without first describing to yourself what you are seeing. Just see the reality in front of you. It is seeing rather than a knowing of a named thing. It is a neutral awareness. This leads to a seeing or realizing of what is, or truth. Look within, and in mental stillness, become aware of your core. Without naming it, just have your attention on it. That is what you are. Let your attention of it expand. Free of external identity. Wake up to your real self.